Ladies and gentlemen, hey, hi, how you doing? Welcome back to the channel. Thank you so much for stopping by. Obviously, a lot of information coming up for Black Ops 6. We've got COD next on the horizon, shortly after that the Black Ops 6 beta, but looking forward towards the Black Ops 6 launch, it seems like this year, unfortunately, things are yet again changing, and Black Ops 6 is actually canceling a significant portion of the launch period, or the launch update, if you will, and I'm not gonna lie, just frankly, I think it sucks. So you may recall in recent years, starting with Modern Warfare 2 2022 and continuing in Modern Warfare 3 this past year, the launch cycle has been a little bit different for Call of Duty, because if you actually went through and you pre-ordered Modern Warfare 2 or you pre-ordered Modern Warfare 3, you were actually granted early access to the game via the campaign. Modern Warfare 2's campaign went live a week early, so you could go through, you could play that out, and then you could wait for the multiplayer to drop right on day one for launch and jump right into that. And then of course we saw the same deal with Modern Warfare 3 as well. Campaign dropped a week early. We had access to that. If you pre-ordered, you could wait for multiplayer to drop on day one. Now, in my honest opinion, campaign early access is one of the best things that Call of Duty has done in recent years. Regardless of how you feel about the campaigns, and if you enjoyed MW2's campaign, or if you enjoyed MW3's campaign for the whole 30 minutes it lasted, the idea of campaign early access I think is phenomenal, especially for someone like me. I'm a big multiplayer guy when the game first drops. Obviously, since we don't have Warzone, I'm all in on multiplayer. Some players are all in on zombies, and especially this year with the return to round-based, there's gonna be a ton of hype there, and players are gonna wanna jump in, start leveling up their weapons, maximizing their grind for, gearing up for Warzone, getting new camos unlocked, going for Easter eggs and zombies, whatever the case is. And that oftentimes means that the campaign gets overlooked. A lot of players do skip that, and it just doesn't really see the light of day beyond those specifically seeking out the Call of Duty campaign year over year. But with campaign early access, you had that week's time beforehand. Hey, I got plenty of time to go through and beat this, 3, 4, 5, 6 hour campaign, experience it all, get sort of a feel for the game, a feel for some of the weapons. I now have the lore and the backstory, which is also pretty cool at times. And then you can jump in right away on day one, not feel like you're missing out on anything, and get right into multiplayer or get right into zombies. Here's the thing though, this year with Black Ops 6, as I alluded to, it seems they are changing things, in my opinion, for the worse. As of now, we've had announcements and reveals for the campaign. We've had announcements and reveals for zombies. We obviously have COD next coming up, which is a major reveal for multiplayer, then also some Warzone as well. But even through the Black Ops 6 direct event, we've seen several announcements and several reveals for multiplayer as well. So all three major modes, plus a little bit of Warzone, has been detailed, has been announced, has had some of its individual stuff revealed and talked about, and yet there's been no announcement of any kind of early access for the full launch of Black Ops 6. Every single trailer, every single video they do ends with pre-order now and gain early access to the Black Ops 6 beta, or pre-order now and get early access to the new 115 camo in Warzone, or whatever the case is, right? Go for the Vault Edition, yada, 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 spend money. Absolutely nothing, though, has been said of pre-order now and gain early access to the Black Ops 6 campaign a week early, or anything like that. In fact, Charlie Intel, oftentimes referred to as Charles Intelligence by yours truly, ended up posting this, saying, for those asking, there has been no announcements about any early access for Black Ops 6 campaign. For Modern Warfare 3 and Modern Warfare 2, the early access was announced by this point during their respective announced cycles. Not clear if it'll be happening again this year. If there's one thing that Call of Duty does incredibly predictably, it is their reveal schedules, their announced schedules, and the cycle year over year with how they go about previewing their next title. And considering the past 2 years with early access, we had reveals and announcements for this, and we don't currently, I think says a lot. That silence is very loud, especially considering we've had a direct campaign reveal even through Gamescom showing off one of the missions. That would have been the prime place to say, hey, pre-order now, you'll get access to the campaign a week early so you can actually go through and play it all before the full game launches. Now, you may recall there were several different leaks and rumors that we were covering, in the months prior to some of the major Black Ops 6 announcements, talking about how maybe this year they are switching out of the campaign early access and instead shifting over to zombies early access. Obviously, with Black Ops 6, zombies is going to be a big deal, returning to round-based. It's Treyarch led, so there's a lot of expectations for it. And to this, Treyarch was actually directly asked about the idea of zombies early access back when some creators went to play the game a little bit early a few weeks ago, and Codename Pizza actually confirmed those rumors, those leaks. There is no credibility behind them. There is nothing, actually happening with that. There is no early access at all for zombies from what they were told at Treyarch when he asked them that question. So that rules that idea out entirely and then defaults back to, well, if there's going to be early access, it's gonna be for the campaign. But once more, now, seeing as it has not been announced yet, really the last possible place it would be announced is Call of Duty Next in a few days' time, which is a possibility, but again, not really the time or place. Most of Next is going to be focused on multiplayer zombies and Warzone. Campaign is by far the smallest segment there in terms of what people are tuning in for. The prime time, once more, would have been during that campaign reveal, and yet they were radio silent about it. Why they're making this change and why they're canceling early access, truly, I've got no idea though, and that's what I'm confused about, because I feel like the idea and the concept of campaign early access was generally well received. Maybe outside of some leaks from the actual files being accessible and the game being downloadable during the early access time, the concept seemed to go over well. Now, you keep hearing me refer to this in a very specific way. The idea of early access, the concept of early access campaign has gone over well. However, you may recall MW 2022's campaign was all right. It seemed very filler and nothing really actually happened for most of it, but it was a decent campaign. It was what we expect from a COD year over year in terms of length, all the missions and everything, and it was what it was. MW3, on the other hand, was an extremely disappointing campaign. The story, I feel like, was incredibly rushed, and we all know it was like 3.5, 4 hours long. It was super, super short, and it got ridiculed, and so many negative reviews came in about MW3 because of the campaign and its length and its conclusion. And part of me wonders if they went through, they saw all the negativity associated with MW3 early access campaign and said, well, okay, people didn't like that. I guess we're not doing that anymore. Because that is, in my opinion, the complete wrong way to interpret that. Once more, being able to access the campaign early is a win for everyone, in my opinion. You can download part of the game early in case you've got bad internet. You can at least have part of the game installed ready to go on day one. If you're someone like me who really cares more about multiplayer or zombies and you want to give all your focus to that the day the game launches, being able to play that campaign a week early allows you to actually fully experience the game. And from COD's standpoint, it specifically gives the campaign multiple days to shine, where there's no other thing overshadowing it with multiplayer or zombies or Warzone or whatever else. You get a full week where all eyes are just on the campaign and your story and your narrative, and I feel like that's something COD would like to take advantage of. Like, I feel like objectively from their standpoint, that's a good thing. So to have no announcement about this so far and to have all the reports so far saying it's probably not going to be a thing is really confusing to me. I'm not sure why they felt the need to potentially cancel early access for Black Ops 6 and maybe even just going forward in general. Perhaps we'll get some answers to this in a few days. Perhaps they're just secretly keeping this locked away and they'll reveal it at some point in the coming weeks. But for now, it's not looking great for those of you interested in early access at launch for Black Ops 6. But that being said, that's going to wrap things up for this one. Of course, if we get any announcements, any reveals, any info on this, you guys know I'm going to have you covered right as it happens alongside all other major news and need to know info here in Call of Duty. So feel free to hit that subscribe button to stay up to date. And if you enjoyed the video, a like rating on your way out really does help the channel grow. But once again, thank you so much for tuning in. And until next time, take it easy, have an awesome rest of your day, and I'll catch you later. Peace out.